One thing I have to say to men who've been burned by Western women in dating and relationships is to give them time to sink their own ship. Don't worry or feel hatred towards ex-exes who did you wrong and messed up your life, because that isn't beneficial long-term and doesn't put you in the proper mindset to win later on. This is what I've learned in life that is more right than wrong in today's world. It is easy for women to get men, but it's hard for them to keep a man. If a woman cannot keep a man, then it doesn't matter if they end up getting a man that is better than you, because they're going to lose him at some point. So let's say your ex-wife dates a guy that makes more money than you and is better than you socioeconomically. If she can't get him to marry her and keep him until death do us part, highly likely she's going to lose him and his support in her retirement years. If you think I'm lying, look at all the women who date ballers and rich guys in their prime don't want to settle down. If none of those women can get a ring out of it in their older years, they'll likely start targeting guys that are average or guys that don't make as much money when they run out of time. Same thing with your girlfriends who cheated or kick you to the curb in the dating phase. Most of them don't level up to a guy that's all that better in the end. In the short term, many women level up and get better men. I won't cap or deny that many of them do better, especially when men are younger. But when you zoom out and look at their entire life trajectory, most of them lose in the long run because they self-sabotage or choose the wrong men. As I said in the beginning, they can't keep men. They can get men, but just like people who make good money but cannot keep it, that's the modern woman worldwide. They can get men but cannot keep a man to save their life, and that's how they lose. On CGA's show, I heard a woman say dating is data gathering, and when you really think about it, that's exactly what both persons involved are doing. The women are gathering data to see if you are the best option they can get, or sometimes they're just bored of dating or tired of getting pumped and dumped on a CC. That's why women will typically date men. So if the woman you're dating leaves you in my book, she showed you who she is before a major commitment like marriage, and thus, she did you a favor. That doesn't excuse her behavior, but at least she didn't get to dip her greasy hands into your pockets if you had married her or put kids in her belly. That's something you guys have to look at when women do you dirty. It could always be worse if you've committed, and that's why I tell you never to commit. Most men lose with women after they give away their commitment or make a significant investment like a kid or marriage, and that's the truth. Even with Western women, if you don't commit, cohabitate, or put babies in their bellies, chances are when they betray you or inevitably show you they are untrustworthy and disloyal, you're probably not going to lose too much in terms of money. You'll definitely lose time that you could have used more wisely, but you probably won't end up on child support or get your assets stolen unless you live in a state or country with a common law union and you cohabitated and fell for the trap. So I want you guys to think long and hard about how you choose to deal with women, because all it takes is for you to decide to be reckless with your rod or enter a relationship, and that's how you set yourself up to lose bigly. The truth is, losing women should be expected if you're going to date, because ex-exes make horrible companions, mainly because they are only loyal to themselves. They only care about their feelings and survival, not about men of the family. They really don't care about the men in their lives if there's no benefit, and the sooner you accept that they're not loyal to men, the less you'll care when your relationship inevitably ends. The sad part is when they leave, they want to drag your name or rob you of your kids or money on the way out. That's what I don't like. Sure, some of them will hurt us because of the cheating, or they couldn't fulfill our expectations, but to leave and want to destroy us on the way out is a huge violation. And at that point, they should be treated like our enemies. That's why I don't even bother with relationships, because, unlike when a man betrays me, there's not much I can do physically or legally to punish treacherous behavior when ex-exes are involved. So to stay out of trouble, I just don't engage or deal with them seriously, and that way, for the most part, I stay fully protected from ex-exes' vindictive games. Let's be real and look at when women betray men. What can we do? We can try to fight, but you guys already know women have the backing of the legal system at their fingertips. They also have the court of public opinion and family and friends at their beck and call. What do men have? Men have no support or systems in place to protect them from ex-exes when the relationship goes south. So why should men get into business with these people? At least in business, when a business partner violates the other business partner, the law can be on the victim's side if he has money to fight, but in relationships, that's not the case most of the time. That's what I don't like, and that's why many men are not signing up to be in business with ex-exes. Once you enter a business contract with a woman, which means marriage, having kids, cohabitating for years and getting recognized as a common law spouse in some states or countries, and potentially having bedroom fun, you are susceptible to losing money via lawsuit. Divorce is a lawsuit. Child support is a lawsuit, a woman bringing you to the court to claim common law union is a lawsuit, and a woman falsely accusing a man of rape or non-consensual bedroom fun can be a lawsuit. All of these avenues are how men enter business contracts with XXs via the state, because the state owns women, not men. The fact that you have to ask the government to legalize your marriage should tell you that they belong to Big Daddy government. So my answer to avoid getting sued by women is don't engage with them and go monk mode. What else are you supposed to do to protect yourself unless you're cool with taking risks? You are guilty until proven innocent in all cases as a man in the West, and that's because big money is involved in the downfall of men. All you guys have to do is follow the money. The truth will smack you dead in the face. When you enter into business contracts with women, you unknowingly enter into a business agreement with the government if the relationship goes left. Most men aren't aware of this, and that's why they're out here crying when their wives and baby mammies start whipping them into the ropes and giving them the big boot. You guys never realize they only have allegiances to themselves and with the state throughout your relationship because you were in love and you didn't realize they were in business. It's pretty simple once you understand women and what they want. Most women are just with you based on what you provide, and if they see a way to get more out of you without having to be with you, then they're going to do it. It's that simple. So back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video. When you get burned by modern women, I want you to understand they intended to betray you from the very beginning because they were in business, not love. But they don't know that after they destroy your life, most of them will still lose in the end. That's because they can't keep a man. Thus, without long-term support, it will be curtains for them unless their kids sacrifice their finances and save them. So if you are a victim of the modern woman's betrayal, once you can rebuild your life and build back stronger, I guarantee most of you will be in a better situation than your ex, because most of them can't keep a man. So even when they level up to a bigger and better deal, just give it time, and you'll either live to see them lose that man and come back on their knees crawling for a second chance, or you'll watch them struggling throughout their retirement years with their cats, dogs, or roommates. Gents, I have aunts in their 50s, and none of them have a man right now. I have cousins in their 30s, and none of them have a man to support them. They have kids from multiple men, boyfriends and men who deliver pipe, I'm sure, but most of them are still single, and no matter what they do, they cannot keep a man to themselves. Can some of them turn things around and end up with a lifetime simp? Maybe. It's not impossible, but highly likely that's not going to happen. And it's the same thing with the ex-exes that did you dirty. Will a few of them end up keeping a man until one or both of them croak? Yes, it's possible, but it won't be most of them, so don't worry. If you live long enough, you'll see their demise sooner rather than later because, just like how they can't keep a man, most of them can't keep money long-term to support themselves when they get old. At least half of you guys will have ex-exes who did you dirty, crash, and burn. It's not even a debate. I've lived long enough to see this with my own two eyes. They will head to self-destruction and poverty before they get a man to lead their lives to wealth, prosperity, and happiness. I know you guys don't see it because your ex may be winning right now while you're broke and dusty, but all you have to do is continue grinding and wait until you come off of child support and alimony, and you'll start to blast off while she falls from grace. Karma is real, guys. Even though they'll have good times, they'll have bad times, and the bad times will come and kick their rear end off the high pedestal. I promise you that, so don't worry, gents. There's no need to be hateful towards them. Just give it time, and you'll see their downfall. But understand that chances are you won't win if you continue to make the same mistakes and go in and out of relationships over and over again. Unless you decide to be done with Western ex-exes, chances are you'll get stabbed in the back and kicked back down to rock bottom continually. You guys can choose insanity if all want, but I choose to be freed from trouble, free from lawsuits, and free from parasites. Click the video on the screen if you want to see more hard-hitting RP content that will scare the living crap out of you.